Let's start with the Donkey Kong. We're gonna put this on 1.2.
Felt so cruel and bleak. When the
You're rich though, Cap.
so dark and
You got me wanting the kid in play. Somebody gotta do it.
heart is rock, cold as stone. I was scared.
All right, bro. And buttery top.
Golden Bananas, the discovery of the century, made right here on Ingot Island. This is excellent news for #1 banana fan, Donkey Kong. However, just as he's about to enjoy the notable bananas, a sudden tempest sends him deep down underground. As his adventure begins, DK teams up with Odd Rock, but it's no rock at all. It's actually a talented young singer named Pauline. Now, Donkey Kong just wants bananas.
Why they lock the woman in a rock though? Why they lock her up though? What was the point of that?
And Pauline wants to find a way back home to the surface. It's said that one
Lock that bitch up. Like, what was the point of that? Man?
So the unlikely duo set off on a strange subterranean adventure.
Level design looks gas.
Place in the underground world, where the scenery changes the deeper you go. Some layers are so spectacular that it's hard to believe you're underground. DK can run,
Game is gorgeous.
jump, and climb through each environment. Using his incredible physical prowess, you can freely move in any direction. But that's not all. Almost anything in your path, you can
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. This look gas. I mean, I was already interested in this. The Switch got one, chat. This look gas. The Switch 2.
smash, crash, and bash. You can even do this to a massive rock formation.
The fuck is this frame rate?
If you want.
Yeah, this should have been a release title.
In your path, you'll also collect golden bananas known as Banandium gems. More on those later. Let's take a look at some of the things this Kong can do. Punch, smash enemies, walls, the ground, and
Basically, this is the Donkey Kong version of Mario Odyssey. It looked kind of like it, yeah.
destruction can lead to discoveries. So set off a chain
He said the battery gonna last 20 minutes.
dive punch. Unleash a
He said I might get it on PC allegedly. Chill.
powerful punch directly downward. How deep you punch into the ground depends on the strength of the terrain. Roll forward.
It's the same team as Odyssey. Oh, okay.
Soaring. Combine this with punches and jumps to really mix things up. Hand slap. Make some noise to
Get a
collect
slap a
scattered
nigga.
items. Or detect hidden objects using sonar. You can even use your feet when your hands are occupied. Tear off. Grab a chunk of terrain and tear it off. Or tear up turnips to find items.
Yeah, it looks very Mario Odyssey.
Off your foes. Swing. Grab a chunk and swing it to attack.
One more.
Harder chunks can be used to break stone with ease. Or smash spiky thorns. Chunk jump. Use a chunk to double jump. This will help you reach new heights. Throw.
Is it like heat though? Yeah, it definitely does.
Or aim at a target like this.
This is right up my alley.
Throwing a
Am I itching to get a Switch 2 still? Nah. But I'll tell you this much. Whenever I do buy a Switch 2, I'm probably going to wait till 2026. I'll probably buy this day one. This does look gas.
boom rock or gold can have explosive effects.
Because I feel like if I buy this, like, after I beat it, I'm going to put it back down for like another year until fucking From Software game comes out.
After material.
Yeah, the backlog is too deep. Yeah, it comes out in July.
Turf serve. This lets you ride on chunks. Speed up and aim for smaller enemies to knock them away. Make music. The power of Pauline's singing will help show you the way. It can also remove these strange seals that someone left behind.
Do it, DK.
Is it Mario?
You never know what you'll discover in the underground world.
Donkey Kong, my brother's in another painting. Help!
So carve your own path with DK's abilities.
Yo, high key, this looks like it could be a game of the year contender. This shit look gas. I'm not even gonna. Yeah, I know I've been hating on the Switch too, but I can't hate on this right here. I can't. I got show love when it's deserved. This shit look gas.
The many layers of the underground world are host to a variety of inhabitants. Some are mysterious and aren't too bothered by DK's destructive tendencies. It looks like Cranky Kong and his companion Rambi are also venturing through the layers.
Hey, this nigga been 90 since the 90s. Like, when he gonna die?
Then there are the giant elders who call the underground world home. They're said to possess ancient Bananza powers.
Is that,
By learning their Bananza powers,
The immortal
Queen
monkey.
Singing can do something special. She can make Donkey Kong transform.
He going Super Saiyan this game?
Incredible destructive power, even hard terrain poses no problem. Plow through the world and smash as much as possible with the powerful Kong Bananza. Plus, DK can transform into a zebra. He's as speedy as he is striped. He can even breeze over water.
This Pauline's origin story. Wait, is it really? Is this the story of how he kidnapped her? Because that would be fucking funny if this game ended with where Donkey Kong starts off with Mario kind of get up to him. That would be fucking funny.
Zebra Bananza. Oh yeah, he can also turn into an ostrich. A flying ostrich.
Frieza having a field day watching this trailer.
Soar through the sky.
Fucking monkeys.
You can use updrafts to gain more air. Then drop egg bombs from great heights to send enemies scattering.
Yeah, this is definitely the Mario Odyssey team. And they giving him different transformations like Mario.
Bananza transformations don't last forever though. You can transform again by collecting gold to build up your Bananergy. You're not limited to when or where you transform, and you can swap between transformations. So get creative and use them as you adventure to the planet core.
The movement looks smooth.
Standing in our hero's way.
Thank you.
is
You're
the
welcome,
Void
buddy.
Company,
You're welcome.
The mightiest mining operation both above ground and below. Grumpy Kong works
DK got a
with
snow bunny.
gigantic corporate soldiers.
You can't tell me that's not a Ganon reference right there.
Grumpy Kong works to create gigantic corporate soldiers. Poppy Kong is responsible for subterranean info gathering. While
Wait. Is Donkey Kong fighting capitalism?
mining operation both above ground and below. Grumpy Kong works to create gigantic corporate soldiers.
He is. Chat. They gonna call this game woke. This nigga fighting capitalism, bro.
Responsible for subterranean info gathering. While Void Kong is in charge of the whole company. This nefarious crew is
We're
responsible
fighting Nintendo.
banana stealing maelstrom on Ingot Isle, and they're heading straight down to the planet core.
the planet core? But no! I'm going with DK, so you just stay away!
Voidco blocked off all the routes to the
Wait. Pauline kind of young in this game, bruh. I know y'all was joking in the chat. Is this actually a Pauline origin story? Because that would be fucking funny. At the end of the game, it ends with you at the top of the thing and Mario trying to climb up there. And the plot twist is she actually likes hanging out with this nigga, bruh. Because she looks young right here.
Stay away!
Voidco blocked off all the routes to the lower layers, so no one could reach them.
Don't touch me, Mario!
DK and his
It's not, it's just a new story.
with the enemies guarding these routes. So use all the power at your disposal to take on a host of powerful foes. By defeating them, giant sinkholes will open, clearing a path to the lower layers of the underground world. Found throughout the underground world are golden bananas called Banandium gems. They're not always visible though. Sometimes they're buried in the walls, the ground.
I just pray these collectibles are worth something and it's not just a bunch of shit to collect like Donkey Kong 64.
There are a whole bunch to find.
Music hitting though.
You can also obtain these gems by completing challenges in the ruins found throughout your adventure.
Let's do this!
Challenges include time-limited battles, courses where you'll need clever solutions.
Yo, they showing a lot. This is what I want to see. Like, when you show a game off, show the fucking game off,
And
bruh.
more.
Studios need to take note.
Keep your eyes peeled to find the Banandium gems.
Unlike Insomniac, dropped a Ghost of Yote trailer to let us know a Ghost of Yote trailer coming. Could have just showed it the next one.
As you collect Banandium gems, you'll gain skill points. These can be used to increase stats such as your
Sucker
max
punch, my bad.
or the destructive power of your punches. Power up Donkey Kong to match your playstyle. For
They got a skill tree in Donkey Kong now? What the fuck? I didn't expect that. That's pretty cool.
your punches. Power up Donkey Kong to match your playstyle. For example, if you strengthen your sonar, you'll be able to detect treasure from further away, which could lead to new discoveries.
I didn't expect that.
Or use skill points to learn new skills.
That's gas.
There are all sorts of items to find as you explore. Banandium chips are shaped like slices of banana. And they can be traded for Banandium gems at the chip exchange. These gold nuggets are, unsurprisingly, called gold. You can exchange gold for useful items at the stuff shop. There are fossils too.
Good one.
You can trade these for different fashions at local style shops. Just open the closet and customize.
It's so funny too because earlier in the stream, that one Stony dude that was talking about like modern gaming sucks. There's no variety. I named like 6 games that'll probably get nominated for Game of the Year. Then like this just came out of fucking nowhere, bro. We didn't know this shit was coming out until they announced the Switch 2, and then it's coming out in July. Now they're showing the full thing. This is another game that looked like it could be a Game of the Year contender in terms of quality from the eye test. From the eye test, I would be shocked if this gets below an 8. Below an 8. Now, if it's more than an 8, we gotta see. But like from the eye test, this looks like at bare minimum an 8.
The perfect fits for Donkey Kong and Pauline. Or even change up your fur color. No look is too much for Donkey Kong, or too little. Almost every article of clothing comes with its own benefits, so mix and match your look to suit the situation.
Interesting.
If you find a treasure chest buried in the ground, crack it open, and you might receive a treasure map showing the location of Banandium gems or fossils. Their locations will be marked on your map. Pretty helpful for finding collectibles. You can also see which fossils and Banandium gems you've collected, making it easy to see how close you are to completion. There's plenty more to do in the underground world when not adventuring. Need a rest? Carve out a space and enjoy a getaway where you can recover in bed. And enjoy listening to tunes with the music player.
I'm never doing that.
You might even find new
DK Rap better be in there. Yeah, this looks like old school, just fun.
When it comes to moving between layers, subterranean eels have your back. These eel elevators
there it
will
is.
help you easily
Donkey
move
Kong.
between layers you visited at any time. And if you get lost, no need to worry. You can always teleport within the layer you're currently exploring.
Teleport there?
In photo mode, you can freely change the in-game camera angle and adjust other settings to snap pics.
Pretty cool.
Get a photo like this, or that. Unleash your inner shutterbug and create your own captivating scenes.
I'm not gonna hold you. If I was consulting Nintendo, I would have told them to delay the Switch 2 release date. They should have put out the Switch 2 in July. If they knew this game wasn't going to be ready till July, they should have put out the Switch 2 in July, so this was a launch title. Like, this is coming out a month after the Switch 2. Then what would have happened is we would have still been upset. We would have still been upset at the price of the games and the price of the platform, but we still would have been like, ugh. It would have tugged on people. Like, now I'm kind of set in stone. I'm not waiting. I'm waiting until 2026. I'm exercising restraint. But I think they could have got even more impulse buys if they waited till July.
By sharing a Joy-Con 2 controller,
Probably because of the Orange Maniac. Yeah, you're right.
and control Donkey Kong and Pauline separately to buddy up in local co-op play. As Pauline, you can unleash Vocal Blast using Joy-Con 2 mouse controls. You can also copy the material of nearby terrain to give your vocals even more texture. By working together, even tough enemies don't stand a chance.
Teamwork. They got co-op in this shit. That's crazy.
This game also supports Game Share. Even if only one player has the game, they can quickly share it to another player so they can join on their own system.
That's fire.
It can also be shared locally to a Nintendo Switch system.
So you can play co-op with one copy.
Play online between Nintendo Switch 2 systems using Game Share via Game Chat.
That's a W.
If
No
you need
couch
more
co-op. All right.
platforming action,
That was his argument. That was Stoney's argument. Ain't no couch co-op. I said, did you play Split Fiction? Now we got Donkey Kong. Like, I don't know, man. That argument is getting weaker and weaker, boy. These TikTokers.
assist mode is the way to play. It
Another
guides you in the
one.
right direction. Halves the damage you receive, and more. Assist mode supports you in your adventure to be the best Kong you can be. Outside of the main game, there's a mode where you can carve stone using mouse controls called DK Artist. Rotate to paint. Carve material.
I'm not gonna hold you. I'm never doing this.
Them back on.
This feels like an homage to Mario 64, though, but I'm never doing this.
You can even change the lighting and add delectable banana effects. Give it a try and sculpt to your heart's content.
I said the same
This
thing.
game
LOL.
also supports amiibo.
I'm not gonna complain. It's extra value. Somebody will like it.
Pauline amiibo figure is also
Oh, they got the Donkey Kong and Paulina fucking amiibo? Oh, man, this makes my Minish Cap just fucking tingle, man.
scanning it
Oh,
unlocks
Jo-
Pauline's diva dress. By scanning the Donkey Kong series amiibo shown here, gold Kong tiles with explosive power,
I thought amiibos were dead.
every other amiibo released up to this point is also compatible.
Can't wait to sit on it.
If you scan them, you'll get giant spheres like these.
Chat, is it Mickey to play with amiibos?
Okay. I love to sing more than anything. I have this dream. Maybe if we get to the surface, you and me, we can make it more than a dream.
She's clearly friends with Donkey Kong, and she's younger. The plot twist is they get to the end of the game and Mario's the villain. Like by the time they make it to the surface, maybe she's like 18, like an adult, and then Mario shows up and tries to rescue her. I got you, woman. Is this monkey bothering you? That would be so fucking funny. And when really this game is gonna show that they had like a Joel Ellie relationship, that would be fucking funny. It's really a daughter father relationship, and Mario's the villain. I would take that. That's fucking funny.
Join the powerful Donkey Kong and the talented singer Pauline as they set out.
I thought Mario's were with Peach. No, in Donkey Kong, which is where Mario first appears, he's not trying to say Peach was introduced later. It was Pauline and the girl in that game. That's what I'm saying. I'm just throwing theories out there. This is the first time we've ever seen a young Pauline. Pauline is Mario's old thing. This nigga fart.
Donkey Kong Bananza. Available July
Crazy.
17th only on Nintendo Switch 2. Pre-order.
Yeah, like July 17th. You know what? I would have even took, if it's not there day one, release it the week before July 17th. Release it like July 7th, and 1 week later, Donkey Kong is coming out. It gives people a week to play Mario Kart, and then the very next week, Donkey Kong is dropping. Like, why? They should have just delayed the Switch 2. They would have went crazy.
Orders are available now on Nintendo eShop.
Don't get me wrong.
The Donkey Kong and Pauline
I'm thankful
amiibo
for
will
your
also be
super
available
chat.
July 17th.
But this won't be enough to fund the purchase of the electric BBC.
Shout out to Troll with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you. He said, keep up the PS4 slander. Their days are numbered. They won't be able to hold the gaming industry back much longer. They won't. We gonna keep waging war against the PS4 niggas. I'm not gonna hate. This shit is gas. This shit look fucking gas. Still not buying a Switch 2, but Hey, I'm happy for the Switch 2 owners. Y'all got something. I just hope y'all analog sticks stay on long enough to actually be able to enjoy this game. I just hope your rumble feature stays on long enough for you to enjoy the game. I just hope the battery stays alive long enough for you to enjoy the game. But other than that, this shit look fire, bro. This shit look fire, man. Pray for they don't get no stick drift playing this shit. This is a W for Nintendo. This game looks fire. I'm definitely copping it whenever I get a Switch 2, like next year. Oh yeah, and hopefully y'all docks don't blow up. What else we got? That's a W. Marvel Mystic Mayhem. What is this?
You lost this. Just like Samara's big mommy milkers in my face.
Yo, shout out to Chris with the gifted subs, the 10. I appreciate you. Big subs. Did you see the 90s Spider-Man TV show's getting its own comic book? Yeah, I said that's a day one cop. Yep.
Second, you set foot in the dreamscape. Struggle all you like, but you're trapped in your worst nightmare.
It is time for you to face the truth you.
It's a mobile game.
I'm gonna win that power back. Ah, it's good to be.
Fate.
We're out of there. All right, let's check out this Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers preview. Let's go ahead and put that on 1.2. You know, nothing too crazy. We're not playing that.
It's all set in stone. You can't change how it ends.
This is another Game Pass game.
I'm not gonna lie to you folks.
Variety, by the way. Variety. We just went from a couch co-op platformer to now we're going to an action adventure, probably Souls game. I don't know, but Variety.
When I hear the word Souls-like, my eyes
Game Pass.
glaze over, and I imagine the sweet release of death. It's the same way I feel when someone says Metroidvania or roguelike. There's nothing inherently wrong with Souls-likes, Metroidvanias, or roguelikes, for the record. There's just an awful lot of them. I love a good steak, but you can't eat filet mignon every day.
You said this is a roguelike?
You need some sushi, a taco plate, hell, even just a burger. A little variety.
Shout out to Thug with the sub.
So when I got asked whether I wanted a 1 or 2 hour appointment with Wu-Chang, Fallen Feathers, I only signed up for an hour, but I was allowed to play for 2, and I'm really, really glad I did. Wu-Chang may be a Souls-like, but it's got unique ideas, and by the time I put down my controller, I knew I wanted to see more of what it has to offer.
Okay. What's unique about it? Hold up.
Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers sets itself apart from the jump with its unique art and setting. It takes place in the land of Shu during the latter part of the Ming Dynasty.
No, he was comparing genres? Okay.
Apart from just about every other Souls-like. Most games in this genre aren't shy about their dark fantasy aspirations. In theory, that should mean everything looks a little different. In reality, that means most games...
Why are y'all so racist towards PS4 owners? Nigga, are you a fucking PS4 sympathizer? We need to come up with like a PS4 Vader to just start cutting these niggas down, bro. These PS4 niggas. Cut all PS4 rebels down.
Look like Dark Souls.
Gonna be like the end of Rogue One.
Really look like Berserk. I like Berserk, but it's not great when it looks like everything stepped out of one of Kentaro Miura's panels. Wu-Chang's dark fantasy, make no mistake, but its setting means a lot of what I saw looks and feels unique and colorful. The story's got an interesting setup too. You play as Wu-Chang, a pirate with a nasty bout of amnesia. In my demo, she woke up without knowing who she was or what was going on. Unfortunately for her, amnesia might be the least of her problems. You see, Wu-Chang has contracted a disease known as the feathering. It starts small. Feathers form on your limbs, but as the disease progresses, you lose your memories, go mad, and undergo a, quote, monstrous transformation, unquote. There's no known cure, but that doesn't mean our girl is just gonna lie down. She's healthier than most, so she's going to look for a cure. The problem is, once most people realize you've contracted the feathering, they'll attack you on sight. It's a neat reason for why just about everyone in Wu-Chang, though not all, there are plenty of people still willing to help you, will attack you as soon as they see you. And the feathering isn't entirely a curse. It also gives me...
So basically the game you play as a black person, and the more you die, the blacker you become, and this game just so happens to hate black people. The blacker you are, the more they're gonna fucking attack you, bro. This is crazy.
Wu-Chang access to very powerful magic. Unlike most other Souls games, you don't have to equip or spec into magic for it to be used.
There goes that goddamn feather! So the game is promoting racism. That's fucking funny, bro. Them goddamn feathers in our neighborhood.
The other big thing is make each of its weapons unique. Each one is different in very subtle ways. The great axe in my demo could block, but parrying was a technique that was essentially reserved for a longsword. Other weapons didn't have either ability, opting instead for attack skills to lay on the hurt. And you can't just fire off those skills any time, either. Using them, aside from block and parry, which you always have, provided you've equipped a weapon with them.
So there is a parry system.
Which you build by pulling off perfect dodges or parries. Nailing perfect dodges and parries Also, charges your magic. Wu Chang isn't quite
Nice.
as fast as Bloodborne, but it's faster than most Souls-likes and encourages you to be aggressive to build those charges. The
I like
damage
that.
is still here against bosses, and you shouldn't charge in blindly, but Wu Chang is less about waiting for enemies to whiff an attack and punishing them, and more about forcing them to swing at you, building those charges, and then cashing in for big damage, either through weapon abilities, magic, or attacks that deal damage while switching to your other equipped weapons. It's a nice change of pace from traditional
This looks
Souls,
much smoother than the
forces you
last
to
time
take
I seen
risks
this
to
game.
gain access to your best stuff. Even leveling up is its own thing. Instead of dumping points into your core stats, you fill out a skill tree for everything from
big-ass
weapons
skill
to
tree.
upgrading your flasks. If you want specific stats, you'll get them through the armor you equip. There's no shortage of outfits in Wu Chang, from the traditional to the risque, and there's no shortage of fan service in Wu Chang. But you're not
Okay,
just playing
booty
fast
hanging
and
out.
or looking at core stats.
Where the gooners
You
at?
always want to make sure you're picking the right resistances. If you're losing to enemies with swords, you might want some slashing resistance. Getting smashed by a big hammer, bludgeoning resistance is the way to go. Magic got you down, get some magic resistance in you. These choices matter, and I appreciate that your gear matters, even if I could have done without some of the fan service. There are
BBL
still
outfits.
bonfires. Here, they're shrines. and
BBS.
resting at them, which in Wu Chang is known as entering the dream.
I'm definitely doing a
shows
BBL
how enemies
playthrough.
you've defeated. Even that, though, isn't necessarily safe. The first time I entered the dream in my demo, I was attacked by a large bird-like boss. I lost the fight that followed, but when I went back to the dream, the boss wasn't there. I couldn't tell you what the deal with that was, but it was interesting, and I kept wondering when, or if, I would get another shot at him. I didn't, but I'm interested in getting another crack at him and figuring out what that stuff is all about. Speaking of bosses, I did get to square off with 3 of them during my time with Wu Chang, and none of them corresponded to the big dude in armor stereotype. From Software got that right with Artorias the Abyss Walker, and they, and many others, have leaned on similar versions of that fight since. Often imitated, never duplicated, as the saying goes. Wu Chang isn't interested in sitting down at that table, though. Instead, everyone felt very different. The first was a masked man with a halberd. He definitely had a range advantage on my longsword and great axe combo, but that was fine with me. I wanted him to swing at me so I could build charges and then use my great axe to lay down the law. This boss took me quite a few attempts, mostly because I'd think I had an opening when I really didn't, and get cooked for trying to attack when it wasn't actually my turn. Once I got his patterns down, though, I was building charges and spending them efficiently, dodging through his attacks and landing big swings of my own. And when I needed to back off, I could cover myself with magic. The second fight was against someone who seemed to have been transformed by the feathering. This was more acrobatic. The boss would leap into the air and attack from range, forcing me to time my dodges to avoid projectiles and keep from committing until I absolutely had to. I didn't find it nearly as hard as the first. It took me just a couple of tries, but I did appreciate the change of pace. The last fight, whew.
This nigga's also playing with summons too. He said it wasn't that hard. I'd imagine it wasn't that hard when you jump in the boss, nigga. The fuck? Where that shit at? There you go, right there. Nigga playing with summons. It wasn't that hard.
Couple of tries, but I did appreciate
fraud alert.
The last fight, whew, that last fight. Only one person at the entire.
I'm gonna take that with a grain of salt. The difficulty
Sad
statement.
to say, it wasn't me. While the other 2 fights were all about dodging, this one against a woman wielding a sword forced me to parry. Even with the right weapon and good timing, she was a difficult fight. Incredibly fast, aggressive.
I like that he's saying everyone feels
If I tried to
unique
back
though.
off to heal, she was in my face. Even when I parried her successfully, I had to be careful. I often only had time for a single counterattack before she'd hit me again. It was a brutal fight, and I didn't win, but I appreciated how hard it was. Now I'd have to change my strategy for each boss. I can't wait for another crack at her from the comfort of my couch. And that sums up.
You peep how he said that boss was really hard and he didn't have a summon, but the one before that, he was like, yeah, this boss is easy because you jumped it. That's why.
My feelings with Wu Chang as a whole, really. I got a ton of time with it, far more than anything else I played at Summer Game Fest, and I left satisfied with what I'd seen. But I was also excited to see more. Not bad for a Souls-like, right? For more, check out our previews of Invincible Versus and Ninja Gaiden 4.
It looks like it's good. It's gonna be on Game Pass. I'm not gonna lie, I was not sold on this game. The first time they showed this shit, it looked really rough. It looked really jagged, but it looks much smoother, and I'm glad to hear that he's saying that the boss designs are very unique. It's going to challenge different aspects of the game, so you're going to have to learn the mechanics in and out. I'm interested in it. Am I super high on it? No, but I mean, it's on Game Pass. I'll try it. It looks promising. We will check it out. We will check it out. Shout out to them with that preview. When does it come out? That is a good question. I think next year. Wu Chang release date July 24th. Yeah, so late next month, July 24th. And it's on Game Pass. So, I mean, it'll be free if you got Game Pass. What else we got to look at? Oh, Borderlands preview. What they talking about on this Borderlands? There's a lot of content today. Put that on 1.2. This year? This year.
I think it's cool.
No variety, though. By the way, we just went from a preview of a platformer that has couch co-op and online co-op. We just saw a fast-paced Souls-like action game. And now we're looking at a looter shooter. No variety, though.
Cool to consistently label the Vault Hunter
Pick a game,
as
play
across
something, chat.
multiple games with the same title of Siren, so that I and so many others can correctly pick who to play.
But I didn't see the basketball.
Whatever the latest Borderlands game is. And who wouldn't want to play as the Siren, the mystic-like class that can warp reality with their mind to support allies or unleash massive destruction? No one. That's who. So, of course,
This is hell for my analysis paralysis.
Vex is going to be a blast. Now,
Yo, their footage is hella ashy.
For 3 hours at preview event, we were only allowed to try 2 of the 4-player Vault Hunters, the aforementioned Vex and Rafa.
It looks like a Halo gun the way it's
sure,
shooting.
maybe the Gravatar or Forge Knight do end up being more fun to play than Vex. I doubt it though. Lilith, Maya, and Amara are my favorite characters in their respective games, so why would Vex break that trend? Especially since Borderlands 4 clearly does not break trends anywhere else. The latest entry does change things up by implementing firearm customization, adding more types of movement and quality of life features, and replacing auto-healing with healing items. But even if it does play better...
Why is IGN preview ashy sometimes? I thought I was the only one who noticed.
This
the only thing I can think of why this is ashy is because I do know sometimes when you go to these preview events, it's always 50-50. When you go to the events, sometimes they say bring your own equipment. And then other times they'll be like, oh, we have something set up for you. A lot of times when they have shit set up for you, the equipment be ass. They be having like a Turtle Beach headset as the fucking mic. They be having an Elgato from like 10 years ago. So like that could be why the footage is ashy. But anytime they let me bring my own shit, usually I get good footage.
feels like every Borderlands game that came before it. If you have played Borderlands, Borderlands 2...
Because you gotta keep in mind, they're not content creators, so they might not know the latest and greatest tech for recording.
Borderlands 4. The answer was inside you all along. The trends remain unbroken. Borderlands 4 looks to be a familiar experience that continues to deliver what fans want from the series. As GameSpot's resident Borderlands sicko, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I have enjoyed playing the Borderlands games.
No one want to pay for it?
Like
Nah, that's facts.
An experience that I have liked in the past. But if you've never liked Borderlands or have fallen out of love with it in recent years, this game isn't likely to suddenly change your mind.
My hate has reached capacity.
The latest game in the sci-fi looter.
Yeah, most people use Elgatos to record gameplay. What's best is who you ask. I mean, some people might like Avra Media more. There's some other smaller brands. If you're on PC, I just recommend using Shadowplay. It depends. But yeah, for console, I use Elgato, and then for PC, I'll use Shadowplay.
Series seems to take cues from Destiny.
If you're on AMD PCs, I don't know what to tell you.
Glide, grapple, and
Good luck,
hover
nigga.
bike through, while random event-like encounters pop up, and a round and floating robotic companion points you to your next objective, scans and fixes machines you find, revives you when you die, and digitally constructs your hover bike. Borderlands 4
No
is
way!
very clearly a Borderlands game, but I was repeatedly struck by how certain moments of my time with it felt so much like I was suddenly replaying a vanilla version of Bungie's 2014 first-person shooter, just with
But if you're on
wildly
PS4, you got PlayStation Share.
Vault Hunters continue to be the core of gameplay, informing your playstyle based on their unique abilities. Vex is primarily a summoner with specialties that allow her to create void apparitions. One gives her a dog-like skag, another lets her create multiple copies of herself, and the last one gives her wings and forms an orb that fires eldritch blasts. Meanwhile, Rafa is geared towards dealing as much damage as possible. His first specialty summons energy blades for him to wade into melee. The second gives him piercing energy lasers.
I mean, it looks like Borderlands, you know?
Shorter cannons to fire bombs, bullets, and
You know?
missiles. I feel like I've made my point about this clear,
You know?
but Vex is so much better than Rafa, who doesn't affect how
But if you're on a
play.
low-end
He's the
PC,
general
if you're running Windows XP, I don't know what to tell you,
It's
buddy.
all about shooting stuff with guns and does it even better. I understand why he's there. Every Borderlands game has at least one Vault Hunter who is there to fill the role of a soldier for players who want a more traditional shooter option. I can still think they're not as fun to play, however. Vex, meanwhile, encourages you to play with a strategy, as you need to thoughtfully place summons in key spots and lean into mobility and positioning to account
What if you're on the Luna? That Amazon Luna?
I
Ain't
like
nobody
that,
playing that shit.
especially as it highlights the new movement mechanics.
Steam has built-in recording. It does. The problem with Steam, and it is good, but the problem with Steam's recorder is it only works with Steam games. So like if you're on PC, I wouldn't recommend the Steam recorder. I would only recommend it as a backup. If you're on PC, you should be using Shadowplay.
Comes to the last two
because you can
Vault Hunters,
record
who I
everything, your
thought.
games,
What
your
I most
desktop,
want
all
to
that
see from
shit.
them is that their abilities have a substantial impact on how I approach a firefight. In my mind, this has always been the most crucial aspect of whether a Vault Hunter is fun to play as. Generally, all are built to at least be useful.
You can add the
ones
games
that
to
are
Steam,
most
and it lets you record it. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Are the ones that
Yeah, OBS works as well.
away from just shooting. Regardless of your choice, all Vault Hunters benefit borderline.
I just recommend I just recommend still shadow play, even though you can add them, just because they have a built-in chip specifically inside of RTX GPUs just for like recording, so it's not eating any resources.
Later combat.
So it's like you might as well just use what's built into your GPU.
More aggressively, and this puts a stronger emphasis on relying on movement and cover in enclosed or narrow spaces. The new traversal mechanics like the double jump, glide, and grappling hook can make all the difference, and firefights that lead into that dependency are altogether.
Not gonna lie, this isn't doing anything for me, chat. I'm just gonna, like I said, if I get it for free, I'll play this shit. I don't know, man. This is not really. He doesn't seem too enthusiastic about it. The gameplay is not really moving me. I'd rather check out this Madden gameplay, guys. I think this is gonna push boundaries. Madden 26.
What's up, everyone? Kurt Benkert here. A lot of you have been asking what's actually different in Madden NFL 26. Let me walk you through what I learned at the
you can record anything with Shadowplay.
preview event in Orlando. In today's game,
they got snow. Yeah, gaming's back.
Trained on nearly a decade of real NFL data, a new AI-powered machine.
And none of it will pop up in the actual game.
Learning system informs all new coach tendencies, QB signatures, and advanced player.
The real console seller.
With more strategic depth and authentic detail, making every game a distinct and dynamic challenge, true to NFL team identities. Let's take a closer look. The team is reimagining quarterback play with new QB DNA, adding new levels of detail, quality, and variety to the most iconic position in sports. Refresh passing.
Yo, any Madden players in the chat? What's this doing for y'all? I'm not in tune.
Quarterbacks across the game.
We pissing off the Madden community again? If I get a free copy, I'm not paying for this shit.
Some more detailed signatures are unique to star quarterbacks, like jump throws in the face of pressure by Caleb Williams. Stylized back.
You can do jump throws now. Holy shit, chat.
Back foot passes for Lamar Jackson and Jaden Daniels, and quick flips on the run for Josh Allen.
A flick?
Specific pocket movement, signature scramble locomotion, unique arm slots, and unique footwork fundamentals. And a new set of 50 advanced player traits informed by real on-field player tendency data pushes the fidelity of NFL stars even further. All of it designed to match the real, nuanced movements and play styles of the league's quarterbacks. Real NFL coaches bring their strategic minds to gameplay with Coach DNA. New predictive play call AI, built on real coaching data straight from NFL,
AI
defines each team's unique identity. Coaching styles like Dan Campbell's fourth down aggression, Kevin O'Connell's creative offensive approach, and more add new layers of strategy to.
Let me tell you something, chat. When they name 2 features and then they say and more, there's not and more, because you would have named it.
Every matchup.
You would have named like 3, 4, 5 features and then say and more. I think it said 2 things and then add more.
Provide play recommendations based on what your team's coach would dial up in specific game situations. And new counterintelligence.
What do you want to see from a new Madden game? I want to see them stop making it.
Making it harder for them to succeed.
That's what I want to see.
Running the same play over.
Turn this shit off.
To authentically reflect unique NFL coaching strategies and play calling tendencies, the team has expanded playbooks with new shifts,
new CTE. That shit would be fire, bro. No, they need to add like a CTE, QTE type of game in there, bro. Mini game where like a nigga hit you so hard and knock your shoes off, right? And then when you like land on the ground and it's like a mini game, you land on the ground on the stretcher and you have to tap the A button as fast as you can to fight the CTE. And if you do it before the time runs out, you can return to the game. If you don't, you lose your best player. So CTE mini games will be fire. Fight the concussion, bro.
Highlighting more of the specific schemes that with real-time NFL trends and new innovative plays to be added throughout.
You're going Super Saiyan and shit.
Physics-based offensive line block steering and new stunts and twists as strategic.
What about rehab? Fuck rehab. I want them to add where like, if my player gets injured, I get the option to give him a cortisone shot. And if you give him a cortisone shot, they start running faster, but then they can't play the next game. Like you can start doing drugs and shit like NFL Blitz.
Wear and tear adds strategy to your roster management.
Nigga hit the sideline, take the shot. Ah! That's right after you fought the CTE. So you going back to back. Ah!
Like, what the fuck is wrong with this nigga, bro? Am I fighting Vegeta or Patrick Mahomes? What the
Dynamic
fuck?
subs let you swap out fatigue players for fresh legs without pausing the action.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, chat. This shit boring. I mean, listen, if I get it for free, I'll play it just to piss off the Madden community. But Y'all know how I feel, man. Fuck EA.
During Summer Games Fest 2025,
What is this? Everything I learned with Crimson Desert second time.
we got a second quick look at the newest build of Crimson Desert, branching out slightly from the combat arena focus and more into completing a whole mission. There were more abilities, more mechanics shown off, and some setting adjustments that put our minds at ease.
Oh?
My preview put us right in the middle of a multi-stage mission through
Summer Games Fest.
around on horseback from objective to objective, taking down watchtowers with cannons, fighting tanks, and going after a final boss.
One day you're gonna be on the EA Madden talk board. I would never be on. EA does not like me, bro. They would not like me because I'm gonna say whatever the fuck I'm on my mind. And like the thing is, like you have to understand, there are people at EA. What was the name of the people that used to work in Bossing Say? Was it the Dali agents, the ones that would like swoop you away if you said something they don't like the chick that was like, "There's no war in Bossing Say." The Dali, EA has the Dali, bruh. Like that's a real thing. I'm pretty sure I told the story because like it was some EA event I went to like probably almost 10 years ago. I'm old. We were previewing some game, and then they gave a presentation to all the content creators that was there. And they were talking about how to reduce toxicity in gaming. And they were talking about all this stupid shit, right? So then I said to them, I said, hey, have you guys... So they started taking questions from the crowd. So I grabbed the mic and I asked a question. I stood up. I said, hey, I agree. We should be reducing toxicity in games. But I was like, have you guys ever thought about what you can do more so on your side? Because I was like, my suggestion is, I was like, let's look at all the microtransactions and loot boxes you guys put in your games. I was like, when you put those in your games, you do realize you create resentment from one side of the community to another, because one side of the community can afford all this stuff and they're getting these advantages over people. And then there's the other side that can't afford it or they don't want to afford it. And now you have a group of gamers that have an advantage over another one, or they have like these cool items, and it creates toxicity over the mic because people are like, you bitch ass nigga, like you paid for this shit, da 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 da. I asked the question, I was like, so what can we do to improve the business practices at EA, right? They was like, that's a good question. Does anybody have any other questions? I swear to God, they blew me off. I'm not making this up, right? So this is where it comes full circle, and this is why I brought up the Dali, right? After that, I was like, okay, these niggas is not gonna answer the question. After that, I walk out of the room, right? I swear to God, I'm not, may God strike me down. After this meeting, I walk out the room. Within 5 seconds of me stepping out of the door, a woman pulls me to the side. She grabs me by the arm with the biggest smile, just like that woman that says, there's no war in Bossing Say. She grabs me by the arm. She's like, hey, were you the one that asked the questions about microtransactions or whatever? And she was like, yeah, great question. I was like, yeah, that was me. My bad, it wasn't a woman, it was a dude. I was like, yeah, what about it? He was like, look, man, you have to understand. People love microtransactions. So it's like, I understand where you're coming from, but people are buying them. So like, you can say this, that, and the third, but the people love them. I remember looking, I'm like, this shit is weird, bro. Like, I guarantee you somebody says something on the headset like, yo, get this nigga the fuck up out of here. He's talking too much, bro. Yeah, but like, so I'm not even joking. EA has people. If you say something, and this is why I said, you can say things. It doesn't mean the corporation is gonna listen, because I've been in these rooms where I try to make these suggestions. You gotta own the corporation to control the moves, but EA is too lost, bro. All they care about is money. I was like, these niggas is weird. He had the biggest smile on his face. They love the microtransactions. Why would you say that? Trying to fucking hypnotize me. Ooh, I'm like, yeah, get me the fuck out of here, bro. Whatever.
Chaos and scale of an all-out war with what seemed like 40 or more individual units was extremely impressive. Even since the last time I saw the game,
you met the devil himself. I love when you tell this story.
Abilities I was allowed to play with, such as marking a target with a bow and arrow to summon a powerful artillery barrage, infusing your attacks with ice, lightning, or fire, including the force palm, which unleashed an icy blast as you launched into the air, and a kick.
Yeah, I was about 2 seconds from them hitting me with the LTG. Like after I asked the question, somebody pack him up, crush his gym.
Throw that strung together into a comical spin throw. On top of that, a grappling
hook, the fuck out of here.
Not only able to grab highlighted targets, but any wall in the environment. This already has huge potential in gameplay for traversal and combat. And while I wasn't able to play around with it as much,
wasn't that during the Titanfall spinoff? I don't remember what game I was there to preview. That was, guys, you have to understand, we've reached the point in my career where I don't remember half the shit. I'm old. So I'm not going to remember every little detail. I'll remember like key stuff, but I don't remember what game. I've been to so many fucking events. I don't remember. You niggas be saying jokes that I said 10, 15 years ago. I'd be like, that sound like me, but I don't know, bro. I got other shit on my mind.
There are multiple weapons to play with, and there are shortcut commands to dynamically change between them on the fly, once you picked out your preferred two weapons.
This again, 34 calling himself old. I know I'm not literally old, but I'll explain it to you the exact same way that I explained it to my girl, okay? Yes, and my mother agrees with this too. Yes, I am 34, but you have to understand I've lived the life of a man that's probably 60 something. What I mean is, I'm only in my 30s, but I've done and seen more than the average person, not to toot my own horn. So you have to understand, I'm not going to remember everything. I'm not going to remember every face. That's why if you meet some people, like let's say you met a star and then you meet them like 2-3 years later, you can't get upset with them if they don't remember you, because you have to remember those type of people, they deal with hundreds of people like every day. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, I've lived a lot of life. I just can't remember. It happens to everybody, man.
Where you could quick swap between two weapons depending on the history of your last used weapon. There were even other non-combat abilities which were intriguing.
I didn't hug the block.
Sit down and rest command or a forward scan ability.
Yeah, I'm too old for the draft. Y'all go fight that shit.
All of these new considerations keep showing that, once again, developer Pearl Abyss is clearly flexing all possible options in the game, overwhelmingly so. One of my major gripes I had—
when you hit your 30s, you start thinking back and realize it was 20 years ago? Nah, facts.
Aggressive particle effects. While impressive, it did make it—
Is anybody excited for this game?
Pearl Abyss did confirm—
because this comes out this year too, right?
In the settings menu. And while none of the preview footage shows it, dynamic HDR when looking at light or dark environments during our playtime was pretty distracting.
It looks good, but I feel like this might get lost in the bunch for me.
Put me at ease.
Too many damn
Another gripe that's been
games.
cemented after the preview was overly complex controls that have been remapped since the last preview, and even gotten more intense. While fighting the final boss of this mission segment, just grabbing a pillar and slamming it was like defusing a bomb. You had to L3 and R3 within close proximity to the object.
I gotta see like some crazy review, like 9.5. That would maybe like, all right, like Expedition 33 type shit. Like, all right, let me get on this. I can't miss this one.
Press square and X together once to pick it up.
But if this is an 8, like, I'll wait.
Then triangle to hold, then turn and face the enemy, then R1 to attack. And these combinations change in a variety of situations. This more or less confirms that this game is difficult to preview because of its high skill floor and high skill ceiling that makes it unintuitive to just pick up and play. There's just a lot to wrap your head around. When we finally get—
so Yote got the fall, that's facts.
The basics and iterate on those skills at your own speed, I feel like this game has a potential to flourish a bit more. Hopefully sooner than at another preview event, because I look forward to getting my hands on it for the final release sometime later this year.
The verbiage he used, it sounds like an 8 to me. Yeah, somebody in chat said 7, 8. Because he was like, hopefully when I get more time on it, this will feel better. Like, he likes it, but like, I'm not getting Game of the Year material from his verbiage. I was hyped when I first saw it, but it's been so long in many other games, pretty much, which there's nothing wrong with that. I would just wait. It is what it is. But not gonna lie, this reminds me of Dragon's Dogma 2. Don't remind me of that game. Don't remind me of that goddamn game. What up, June? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, that's all I got for you. In terms of the news, I didn't know all that Donkey Kong shit dropped. Shout out to Donkey Kong. That shit look